Hello, Boston Whaler fan club, community, and other 320 Vantage owners. Wanted to do a quick review on my 2019 320 Vantage Boston Whaler. Had the boat now for about 5 months. Bought it used here in the heart of the pandemic, boat shortage and everything. Felt like I got a good deal on this, just over $300K. Share that just for other owners to know, or prospects that are looking to buy a 320 Vantage, what the market should be for this boat. This is a 2019 with under 200 hours. Definitely should be in that 300 to 315 range if you can get one. Want to give you a different view of the boat that you don't hear from the Marine Max team when they're talking about this boat at length in those model reviews that they do. This one has the reverso flushing outboard system. Has actually been, I've been a big fan of this. Owner of the boat previously put it on right before he sold it, and it's a really good feature. So if you're contemplating the idea of, hey, I've been on a bigger boat that I've had, and I've had this with outboards, or you know what, I just hate the old laborious idea of doing flushing where I've got to hook it up to the hose here on the outside, wait 15 minutes, then hook it up on the other one. This system is a really, really nice system, and have found good value in it. I think the guy paid around $5,000 for it. So highly recommended if you're interested in it. Second thing that this boat really needs, in my opinion, is the SeaDeck that you see here. And this SeaDeck is not your traditional snap-in SeaDeck. This is a SeaDeck that is literally glued on with that double side adhesive that keeps it on the boat, sticking to it very, very well. We usually, when we boat, we put on 8 to 10 people. We go out, we're out for the day. Have not seen any issues with SeaDeck. It does stain. I will say it stains pretty easy, and you can see here, I've got a mark here, rust marks. This is from the side door dive ladder that was sitting here drying after using it one day. Came back out 2 days later, stained the SeaDeck. Can't get it out. So that's a bit of a pain, but other than that, it's been just an absolute wonderful addition to have on here. You're looking at this boat and thinking, okay, Grant, this is a boat that looks just like every other 320 Vantage out there. I'll tell you what. So this one was ordered in the light blue gel coat. Underside hardtop, same color as the side of the boat here. As you can see here, nice color. No fading on it. I absolutely love it. Grateful that this one came with it. Highly recommended if you're ordering one, or if you can buy one that's used. You'll love having this double color. In terms of storing this boat, this does not have a cover that comes over the glass windshield here and goes all the way to the back. You'll see other boats in the market, or the ability to order this with the snaps to come and tie the back part of the cover here. We don't have that, and so I went to West Marine and bought a 20 by 10 foot canvas for $57, and I usually put it on here in Florida when we've got our changing of the seasons with a lot of the leaves that fall out of the trees, because it gets pretty dirty in here at that time. But if you're looking at this boat, standard seat covers will do you perfect justice. The boat stays incredibly clean in the seats with these on. Highly recommend the black covers. Let's talk about a couple key features here. This boat does not have the refrigerator or the grill. When we were looking to buy one of these used, it had to have a refrigerator on the boat. That was a key requirement. And when this boat became available, we had to pass up on that. Now, for $2,500, we could easily put a refrigerator in here. But let me be honest with you. Haven't been in a scenario yet where I feel like I'm missing out on that refrigerator. So the best part about this live well is by simply turning the valve off from live well to off, this becomes the absolute best refrigerator you put your alcohol in here, you put your waters in here. It's great because all of your friends just know, hey, this is the whatever we want to use it as that day on the boat. It stores ice in there all day long. There's no problem. I absolutely love it. Let's talk about a couple things here. So this boat is really unique because it has air conditioning added in here as an option by the first owner of the boat. And this owner doesn't have a generator, or the boat doesn't have the generator on it. And so you're probably thinking, well, how do you use the air conditioning on this boat when you're out during the day? And it runs on DC battery power. So it uses the house batteries. And so it's been absolutely unbelievable. I love it. You gotta get the air conditioning on this boat, especially if you're in Florida. And here's why. Those hot summer days like we have these days, it is so refreshing to have at least one area on the boat where you can go in, sit down, store your foods, store your whatever you're doing, and have an ability to keep that boat, that compartment cool. And it really doesn't use that much battery power up, especially if you're running the boat the whole time. You're not going to notice any issues in the boat whatsoever with that. So if you're looking at buying a 320 Vantage and you've got small children like myself, you want to have an ability to store them somewhere where they can be out of the sun, out of the heat, but something that's not requiring a generator. So for $5,000, I believe you can get the air conditioning added in here with running off the house batteries. Total recommendation. And the easiest part is all you have to do in the bilge here is clean out the strainer about every 90 days is what I do. And you just hose it down, put it back in, and you're good to go. Recommendation on that though, if you are going to get the air conditioning, make sure you clean the strainer out of the water, because when you clean this boat, when you take the strainer out, when it's in the water, you lose your suction vortex so that the water for the pump stops coming in, and then you've got to really run the boat hard to break that suction again. So just a recommendation, clean the strainer out of the water. Lastly, I want to cover, you're probably thinking, well, what do you have up front here? Boat's covered right now, no bow filler cushion, but as you can see, these two rod holders, those are for the forward sunshade. And at first I was like, we're going to use this all the time. This is absolutely wonderful. I'll be honest with you, with the back sunshade that comes out, you're never going to use the front unless you've got a lot of people and you're trying to balance it out. But majority of the time, people want the sun, obviously, and it's a nice to have, it's not a need to have. So to conclude this brief video that's now turned into almost 10 minutes, SeaDeck is a must. SeaDeck is a must. You can live without the refrigerator. However, if you want to add it in as an option, go for it. I mean, for me, it's being used as a tool. Keep my tools here. Cleaning for the glass on the windshield, you got to have that because it is very hard to keep these things cleaned. As you can see, it's been a little dirty and rainy here. Got some spots on this, but it is you got to keep these windshields clean at all times. These sunroofs, don't need them. Nice, but you don't need them. So SeaDeck's a must-have. Got to have this. Got to have the reverse sure shade. Most boats will come with that, no problem. The bow seating area, we find that this boat cruises best between 30 and 35 miles an hour. Not a lot of people sit on the front unless there's a lot of people on this boat, because these seats are so amazing to create a reverse lounge chase, lean the backrest up going forward this way. I mean, however you want to look at it, everybody usually sits back here on the boat because it's the best part of the ride. And highly recommend, highly recommend probably not getting that forward sunshade for that reason. It's a nice to have, but you don't need it. Last thing is the concept of, do I get 350s or 300s or 400s? This boat has the 350s. We had a Sea Ray prior to this that had the new V8 300. I fill this boat up to keep it at, I like to run the boat kind of heavy, but I've found now that the boat probably does a little bit better on fuel economy when you have 100 to 200 gallons of fuel in it at any time, rather than keeping it between 2 and 285. This boat, no problem, will get out of the water very easily with 10 people on board, full fuel. You won't feel any lag. It just gets up and goes. I'm very impressed with that. However, the V8s are the best engine out there right now, hands down. And as an owner of that prior V8 on another boat, I can tell you that it's just the best thing you want. Plus, you can fire them up and you have the sport exhaust option, or you don't have to. You can keep it quiet at all times, but it's a really, really good engine. And so if you have the chance to pick that engine, I would go with that versus the 350s. Other than that, this is really about it. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at any point in time. Happy to help assist in giving you other recommendations or giving you different angles of things that you can't see at the showroom, or just other perspectives on buying this boat. Hope that this helps, and best of luck, and enjoy your 320 Vantage when you get it. Cheers.